So what's up? I'm about to explain my song Black Man to you. Originally it was called Intelligent Black Man, but I changed the name to Black Man. I mean, it was smoother, shorter, whatnot like that. But I basically wrote this song in 2009. So of course I forgot the mentality that I had at that time period. But I will still do my best because it was still me who created it, so I would know me better than anybody else could. So, alright. The chorus. Alright, the chorus, I don't remember. I think the chorus I actually wrote this year was like, hey black man. I say it 7 times and then like intelligent black man. And the direction that I was really going with the chorus was basically like, it's like black man over there and I'm saying, hey, like trying to talk to you, I'm trying to get your attention. And then I say intelligent black man. They're like, let you know specifically like this is exactly who I'm talking to, trying to get my message to and all of that. Basically, I'm specifically talking to him because it's like, this is basically about the stereotypes of black men. And it's like we're intelligent, we have certain personalities, we're people, You don't have to treat us like we're thugs and criminals, but that's how the world sees us. So woke up this morning, they know the trouble I step in. I got locked up for carrying a lethal weapon. They call it the mind, and my pen was on the grind. Now I'm doing time because I made an outline. So coming with that, it's like, okay, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a feel for like where I was then. I think this was around the time I had dealt with that issue where the cop pulled a bag out of his pocket and stuck his hand behind the bench. Took his hand back, bag still empty. Saying he found weed. They brought me like outside. And it was all this stuff. Basically, the cop was filling me up, and I was feeling really uncomfortable. And it was just like, it was extra. It was like, all right, he already felt me up, and he still kept like, following me. And I'm like, could you please stop? Then he's like all in my face, oh, you think you're tough or whatever. I was like, no, I didn't even do anything. I was just in here with my cousin. We're just getting some food, and that's all we're doing. We haven't done anything wrong. It's 5 p.m. We haven't eaten all day. We're starving. I just wanted food. And then he's just yelling at me. I take off my badge, basically saying he put hands on me. He shoot me in the middle of the street and all of that. And then the cop swung on me, and it was like, it was a natural reaction. Like, I didn't try to do it. I was just trying to stand there with my hands behind my head, because the other cop, I don't remember, I think he was holding my hands, but in that moment, like, I don't know if he had let go, loosen his grip, or if it was me. I don't know what happened, but my hands were behind my head, and I could have sworn the other cop behind me was holding on my hands. And then I was just like, I just grabbed his hands. I just grabbed his fist. Like, it was a reaction. And he's like, and then that's when he cooled down a little bit. And then he's like, oh, if you do that again, like, I don't remember what he said. If he threatened to lock me up or take off his badge and beat me up or whatever. I don't remember exactly. But I remember he kept threatening me. And I'm just standing there like, I'm just getting something to eat. I didn't even do anything. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't create a scene. Like, we're hungry. We're just getting some food. So I didn't really understand the whole situation. So anyway, so basically, when I'm coming out with this song, this is like, I feel like I was much more creative than I've been lately. Well, this year I think I've gotten back into my whole creative thing. But I feel like over the past couple of years I haven't been. And the reason for this has been that, basically I when I started rapping, I had like all my music, I put it out there, and my delivery wasn't really good. And to be honest, like, I really don't care how people feel, but I feel like even now I don't really have that style of delivery that's like entertainer. So hey, I might make a lot of money one day. I might not. I don't know. But I don't have that really entertainer type flow. So it's not going to be this real entertaining, make everybody want to dance and party and whatever. I mean, I got a couple of songs that people could party to maybe. I don't know. But like I'm more of the type of artist where when I make music, I have something to say. So my music comes off more in the realm of me saying something, delivering a message, or me coming with the lyrics than being an entertainer. And I understand everybody has their own personal feelings about that, but this is who I am. I'm a creative. I'm good at being creative. I'm good at sharing a story. I'm good at giving you a message and talking about things and doing things like that. My thing is just entertaining is just not my thing. I'm not even a party person. I don't even go to parties. So I don't really ever see that becoming my things. I'm sure I could make some songs that will work for party people, but I don't see myself going in the direction where I'm making enough songs to really be on that, making a whole lot of money just off the basis of being an entertainer. So anyway, getting back to this, I wanted to be metaphorical a lot in this. So as I talk about this weapon, I'm speaking of my mind being my weapon and not actually holding an actual weapon. And I use my pen. My pen also is a weapon because I take the things from my mind, write it down in these words, which are also my weapon. Because I mean, when you're a lyricist, MC, your words are your weapon, and this is how we fight back. We don't fight back physically. I mean, we're capable of, but the way that MCs and lyricists fight back is through words. And then now I'm doing time because I made an outline. So basically, I killed you with my words. But of course, with your words, when you talk to the police, I mean, if you say something that they don't like, even if let's say, for example, the law and you're saying, well, by law, blah, 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 you'll still get beat up. I mean, at least I don't know how it happens for everybody. But I can say as a black man, at times, you could know the law. You say you know the law. It pisses them off. You get your butt whipped. You get locked up, and the judge really doesn't care about the law. So, yeah, so much for knowing the law. I mean, I'm not saying that happens in every situation, but sometimes it does happen. But I'm not really going to get into that subject too heavily. I don't know, I might, because I'm outspoken. Anyway, so I try to apologize for being born a criminal. My mind is full of lies delivered so subliminal. Justice is minimal, so the violence maximized. Police brutality, mothers with teary eyes. So it's basically saying because I was black, I was born as a criminal. So I'm sorry for that in a kind of sarcastic type of way. And then, subliminally, we were taught a whole lot of BS that keeps us in a certain area. We're not really taught to believe in ourselves or to become more. It's every time you turn on the TV, what you see, we're either thugs or ratchet chicks. And then as much as we can sit here and say we hate these stereotypes and want to fight back, what do the majority of us do? We live our lives as that stereotype. Even a lot of the people who get mad about the stereotypes, they still live as the stereotype. How do you get mad about that? But then that's how you live your life. That's who you choose to be. I mean, you don't have to be like that, but that's who y'all choose to be. And in some cases, y'all just take certain aspects of this stereotype and feel like, oh, since you're not 100% that, it's cool. It's okay. But I mean, you can't really expect people to stop seeing us as a stereotype if that's what you perpetrate. And then justice, we don't really get a lot of it. But then y'all wonder why we're angry. I feel like it's there's two different worlds. It's a black world and a white world. in a sense. But like some black people are born and only lived in the white world, whatever. Some white people were born and only lived in the black world. But like, so in the black world, it's like kind of like the strongest survive. I mean, I don't think it's as bad now as it used to be, but from the going based off the mentality I had in this like particular time, because I don't even involve myself with people heavily enough to know like that heavily what things are like now. But going based off of this time period that I wrote this song. So in the black world, well, actually I've dealt with some of that today. But anyway, in the black world, basically it's like, all right, so the strongest people, they could be the bullies or whatever. I mean, they don't necessarily have to be, but I'm saying like if they're the strongest, that's the role that they could play, right? And it's basically strength. Like if somebody disrespect you, treat you some way, you smack them. Feel me? So you want to be strong, so that one, nobody can push you over, and like walk all over you, and two, it's like if somebody challenge you, you can defend yourself. You can do what you want to do. But in the white world, you can't go smack somebody. And so it's like somebody could be in your face disrespecting you all day, and you can't just smack them. And don't get me wrong, it's like I feel like there's good and bad to both sides, because on one side, like if you're a weak person, you don't want to live in that world where people get smacked, because like then everybody's gonna walk all over you, do whatever they want to do with you. But at the same time, you kind of don't want to live in a world where you can't smack nobody, because it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that anybody on this planet knows how disrespectful people can be and how people go overboard, where it's ridiculous, where it's like, you just want to be nice to somebody, friendly, whatever, and they just gotta be so disrespectful. They gotta do all of this extra unnecessary, and it's like you just want to punch them in the face so bad. But it's like, if I punch him in the face or I cuss him out, whatever, I'm gonna lose my job. Then I can't eat, pay my bills, and all of that. But I want to punch him in the face so bad. I'm just getting sick and tired of their BS. So from that standpoint, that world really sucks. And people take advantage of you. People use you. They'll steal your stuff and then be like, oh, it's just business. And of course, you can't turn around and just punch them in the face just for stealing something that, you busted your butt, you worked hard for. You go to work, you bust your butt. Everybody else is lazy, don't want to do anything, don't want to work, take their sweet time, making life harder for you, and you can't punch them in the face. I mean, it's like, I understand you don't want to be here, but why you gotta make life harder for me? So, that's my whole thing with the difference between the black and the white world. So, and of course, police brutality, killing us. Mothers are afraid, like, when we go out. Like, I mean, even for me, I had a gun pulled on me by a cop when I went to a college, an honors college. Because, I was just chilling in the parking lot listening to my music, like, with my headphones, so it wasn't like somebody else could even hear it. And, I mind my business. I stayed by myself every day. I didn't bother anybody. I stayed away from people. And it was this whole issue. The cop came at me. He's like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm like, what? I go to school here. Why can't I be here? And, it was like, oh, back and forth. And then, like, he was like, get your hands away from your pocket, and pulled his gun out on me. And I was like, my hand's not even near my pocket. And the other cop pulled him back. And then they were like, they were going to report me. So, okay. So if the other cop had to pull you back, then clearly you both knew my hands weren't near my pockets. And I didn't have a weapon. But okay, that's how things work now. Okay, I guess so. So, anyway, educate my mind while doing time in the cage. A pit full of animals, now I'm full of rage. Expressed by this poetry blowing up the stage. It's irrelevant that my mind's intelligent. So, as black men, we're expected to go to prison. That's just how this world works, right? So we go to prison and we get an education that we never got before we went to prison. Now, I'm not saying everybody, because I mean, I did good in school. I mean, I didn't really put effort into it because I couldn't relate and I hated it, and I just couldn't wait to leave. And I actually wanted to drop out. I don't know how I even finished school. I don't know how I went to college, because I couldn't stand it. I felt like it had nothing to do with what I wanted to spend my life doing, and it just meant nothing to me. And I just hated the fact that how I was basically oppressed, in a sense. Like, I couldn't be myself. Like, in school, they were always constantly trying to force me to, do certain things. Like, I mean, certain ways that I dressed that they didn't like. And it's not like I was, revealing anything where you could see anything, but it's like, oh, they have an issue with it, so I can't do it. And, I couldn't act like me and whatever like that. And it was like you had to be this certain way that you had to act, and all they really taught you was how to be a factory worker. I mean, all school really is memorizing everything. So as long as you remember stuff, it's easy. Math, you remember the formula. History, you remember what you read in the book. Science, remember what you read in the book. English, remember what you read in the book and write it down. Like, that's all it really is. You just remember everything. That's it. I didn't feel like I was learning. I felt like I was memorized. I didn't feel like I was learning how to think on my own. I felt like I was learning how to take something that somebody else defined as fact and saying, this is the fact because XYZ person said that it's fact, but I never actually found out for myself if it was actually fact or not. So in reality, I don't truthfully know that it's actually fact, but I'm just taking somebody's word because they're supposedly credible, even though they're a human like me, and they could possibly be either lying or being wrong. But since I'm not in a position where I could actually, find out, I guess I'll just have to take their word for it. And I don't know about y'all, but that just doesn't ride with me. But of course, considering, how everybody is about religion and really don't have the facts that actually 100% prove that it's actually real, but you're making assumptions off of situations that are exactly the same with people who don't believe in religion. But that's still enough information for you to say that it's right. So I can understand why everybody is cool with that, but it just doesn't work for me. So anyway, but being in prison, basically you're a cage and you become like a wild animal. And so like for me, it's like that's what made me angry. Because at this point, all the music I was making was really angry, and I'm expressing it in my music. And for me, music is art and it's poetry. And at the end of the day, it really didn't matter if I was intelligent or not. It's just, everybody's still going to see me as stupid, worthless, thug, nobody, gonna grow up, be nothing, be a deadbeat dad, blah, blah, blah. I still don't have kids, which is crazy because I'm 29 now. And I've always wanted kids my whole life. I wanted kids ever since I was a little tiny little kid. And I still don't have any kids. So I mean, I think that's crazy. But, I mean, I guess that's kind of off topic. But in a way, it kind of does make sense, So, anyway, stopped by the police, a stampede of elephants, bust into my residence to hide the evidence. Now I'm the accused because they planted bad seeds, promoted from a scholar to an overnight G. So, basically, of course, stomped by the police. That's obvious, what that is. But basically, like, so we'll have bad things happening to us, and then if they say that we're bad people, then the world is just like, oh, they must have been bad people, even though you don't know the facts, you don't actually know the person, you don't know the situation, we don't know anything, but we already assumed the moment a black man is shot, everybody just assumes he was a bad guy. And I mean, some people do have a bad history. But even if you have a bad history, that doesn't mean in that moment of which, they got killed, that they were actually doing something and whatnot. And I just feel like, I mean, at the very least, try to get the facts before you assume something. But it's like, because of that assumption, that's why we feel uncomfortable. Because it's like, okay, so if I get killed, and I wasn't doing anything. I don't have a record. I never done anything my entire life, and I get killed, right? Everybody is gonna feel like I must have been a thug, a bad person, right? So because of, on that basis, that means they could do whatever they want to me because America's not gonna care. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about justice. It's about how America feels. Because if it was really about justice, then why'd Stanley Tookie Williams get killed? Because at the end of the day, regardless of his involvement with the Crips, every Crip in blood is a grown man and a grown woman. Even those who aren't, they're still human beings. They have the willpower to control themselves. Nobody can control you. You make your own decisions for yourself. He's not some god that uses his puppet master strings to control other people. And regardless of that, in a specific situation, the evidence that was used against him proved that he was not the one that killed those people under the case of which he was being charged for. And that's why he was in prison to begin with, for this specific case. And he was still killed because of the fact that the American people wanted him dead. That was the day that I realized that America is just another gladiator stage. As long as Americans want us dead, we'll die. That's all it really is. But I guess most of y'all don't get it. And that's why y'all don't see why we're so afraid. Because you don't understand what it feels like to be that gladiator. And you didn't want to be one. You never made that choice. But now you getting thrown out there with the lions for everybody's entertainment. And when we get killed, everybody cheers. That's what America is for us. But y'all never see that. Anyway, I'm a black man with a weapon in my hand. This pin that I grasp is caressing to my fans. I don't need a band, alone is how I stand. So it ain't about no colors when I'm throwing up my hands. Nah, I won't surrender, I'm up for the fight. I choked and killed the mic, now I'm in for the night. So, once again, metaphoric, my weapon, but this time, I'm talking about the pen. And I'm talking about the way that I write these rhymes. It goes to my fans and caresses their soul because they can relate to it. They can feel it. They understand what I'm going through. And it helps them to get through, what they're going through. And of course, I've always been a loner. I've never really been around people. And of course, with the throwing up my hands, but it ain't about colors. Of course, because we're associated with gangbanging. But I'm talking about throwing up my hands in a sense of fighting. So nah, I'm not going to surrender. I'm going to fight. But I choked and killed the mic, right? So how am I fighting? With the microphone. Ain't no stopping the mind, this is revolution. The people in the streets tired of pollution. Only solution is the day that we stand up to this abuse. It's like they can't stand us. So, this is my revolution. This is my fighting back. We're tired of the way that we're treated, the things that we go through. And it's time for us to stand up and stand against this abuse. Grab the young homie and get his mind elevated. See the police, the scene turns levitation. By any means necessary, I gotta have my freedom. Police see a lone black man and just beat him. So I'm dipping down the streets running from police. Resisting to arrest cause criminals are chasing me. So this is about elevating your mind. Seeing yourself as more, becoming better. And then with the scene turns levitation, actually the song was a little bit more violent, but I changed some things because I didn't want people to misunderstand the message I was trying to give and take it as a F the police and kill them type song. That's not my intention. My intention was fighting back, but for it to be metaphorical in how we fight back, but more so elevating ourselves. But with the whole scene turns levitation, I wanted it to display that basically every time we see the police, we expect to die. That's what it is. We expect to either get beat up or die. But I gotta have my freedom. And that's why we run from the police. Well, not all of us, but some of us will run from the police even though we haven't done anything. Because it's fair. Like, imagine, I don't know, you're out there in the wild, right? And you see a lion. Even though you haven't done nothing to this lion, you're probably gonna try to get away from it, right? You see a bear, you're gonna try to get away. I mean, you don't know for 100% fact unless it starts like attacking you or whatnot. But you try to get away because in your head you expect it to kill you. So you try to survive even though you didn't do anything to provoke it. That's the same way that we feel. So, now we're at verse 3. I know, I be really getting in with these explanations, like real deep with it too. So anyway, stuck in repression, ready to release this weapon into the chest of my enemy that keeps on stepping. I'm trying to get the knowledge to fortify my brain. Mental weaponry in a world so insane. He says that I can't, I tell him that I can. I can't be labeled unless you calling me a man. So, once again, talking about the knowledge being my weapon. Educate myself, figure out how to fight back. Because I feel like this world is crazy, it's out of its mind. But we the ones that get called crazy for trying to survive. We're angels trying to survive in a world of demons. Now, I'm not talking about all of us. But I'm talking about, those of us who are good-hearted people. We're angels trying to survive in a world of demons. What do you expect us to do? You understand? Sometimes we have to do some things that are angelic. We gotta stay alive, don't we? So, and then of course it's like, I know for me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but from my understanding, a lot of black men go through this. Growing up, my teachers and my peers constantly, like literally on a daily basis, basically told me I would amount to nothing. I couldn't be nothing. And that's what it was, Like every time you go on a job interview, this is how you feel. Everything you do in life, you just feel like I can't do nothing. I won't amount to nothing. At the end of the day, even though I'm not out there selling drugs and robbing people or something, all I really expect for my future is to either be dead or in prison. Because that's just the way that things work. I have no control over my life and what happens. It doesn't matter even if I avoid doing those things that would put me in that position. It's inevitable. It's going to happen anyway. That's what it felt like for me growing up. But in this song is me saying to the world, it doesn't matter. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to keep fighting. And I'm going to be able to do this. No matter what you think or what you see me as. You won't be able to label me and put me in a box and tell me that I can't do it. Because I will. Look down upon me because I'm coming from the lower class. But think with a higher mind you couldn't hope to pass. Tired of the judges that never see the case. A younger population born in a criminal place where evolution proceeds at a minimal pace. So, this is me talking about how, if you're from the lower class, you tend to get looked down upon by a lot of people. And then with the higher mind, I was kind of like coming with the movie Higher Mind. Because, from one point, I'm coming at higher mind, you couldn't hope to pass because I'm a lot more intelligent than you think. And in some cases, you're more intelligent than the people who think you're not. But coming from the movie Higher Mind, the guy, I haven't watched it in a while, even though I had the movie, but from what I remember, the guy, he got involved in the white supremacy, and I believe he killed one of the black students. So, but like when you look at Ice Cube, what was he like doing in the movies? Like he never passed, but he was so intelligent, and that was like I felt at that point that I went to college the first time I went. Like it was like I can't relate to this. This is not getting me anywhere. Not doing anything. I'm becoming miserable because this isn't what I want to do with my life. And like everybody's upset with me because they're like, you're so intelligent. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like it's just this feeling that I have. Like there's something that's just so much more important than just showing the world that I'm intelligent. It's like this feeling like there's something that matters to me so much more. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And just have that feeling like this is not what I was born on this earth to do, what I'm meant to do, what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just like that feeling. I can't explain it. So yeah, that's what I was coming from. But like, and then also it's like, you know, we expect to get killed. So we don't expect to really be able to succeed at our dreams because we don't plan on living long enough to be able to. And then also like how, you know, everybody looks at us and judges us, but they don't know our situation or what we're going through or, you know, the whole facts. Like because I actually had this dream. And basically in the dream, I found out that the government was doing something. And I had actual proof to prove that it wasn't a conspiracy theory type thing and me just being one of those, oh, the government is coming after us type people. So undercover cop came, shot me in the head, and I died. And on the news, they said I was killed by a gangbanger. And that dream has just stayed with me. Like, in a sense that it made me feel like I'm going to fight for something in my life that I'm going to die for. I'm going to do something that matters to people and it's going to help people. And I'm going to be killed for it. That's what it made me feel like. And then once I get killed, the story's going to be twisted to make me look like a bad person. That's what I felt. And I felt like, you know, that's like what I'm talking about in there, because it's like you don't really know what actually happened, but everybody assumes the worst. And like the evolution proceeds at a minimal pace. Basically, it's like not getting anywhere. It's like we're stuck in the same place. And it's like things aren't really getting better for us. You know? Alright. We got babies in the yards, locked behind the bars, looking in the mirror, don't know who we are. I look suspicious, so I must be selling crack. Check my backpack and realize I'm holding facts. But I'm already dead. There ain't no coming back. So basically, we have really young people that are getting locked up. And when we look in the mirror, we don't know who we are. Because we're basically raised to hate ourselves. And not to really find ourselves, but to follow some system where we're basically just some robot to this system. And because I'm black, I look suspicious. So they assume that, you know, we're selling drugs. So we walk down the streets and always get checked, get our backpacks checked and whatnot. And it's like, dang, I'm going to school. But anyway, so getting into the realize I'm holding facts. The idea that I had for the music video was to basically have two visions. And it was supposed to be groups of black men and a group of black men, but it could be multiple. I'm thinking if I ever made the video in the future, I probably would. have multiple groups, but it's our vision and the world's vision. In our vision, you see a whole bunch of black men. They're good people, intelligent, living good life. And then in the world vision, I would have like those same black men change their clothes, and they basically is supposed to look like thugs. And that's how the world sees us. And at the end of the video, you'll see one of us, and we'll have on this book bag. And the cops all come on us, with the SWAT team, and they're like, he's like, they're taking down a drug dealer, and they kill him. And you see his body drop, and the book bag drop. Right? And then you'll see the outline of his body, and the book bag drops next to the outline. Then the police, then it cuts to the scene with the police. They're going through the book. They're like, all right, we got the drugs. They open up the book bag, and they pull out books. And then cuts back to the scene, the outline, and next to the outline of the body is an outline of the book. So that's what I really wanted to do with the video for this. So yeah. See, I get so in depth with this. Like, my videos, they like over 30 minutes. It's crazy, but I just be having so much like on my mind when I write these songs down, and people think it's just some random like entertainment type stuff. And it's amazing that after so many years, like 2009, that's 9 years, and I'm getting all of this just from reading my own lyrics. Like, so imagine how much was going on in my head back when I actually wrote it.